Hello friends, today we are going to start with the most interesting chapter of your syllabus, that is India and the world. Students, if you remember, last year we have learned about the ancient history, but this year we are going to learn about medieval history. Students, always remember, medieval history differs from country to country. Our Indian medieval history has approximately started from the year, that is 9th century to 18th century. It means that Indian medieval history is between 9th to the end of 18th century, whereas European medieval history is between 5th century AD to 15th century AD. Before starting with this chapter, students, let us understand about the European medieval history. Students, as you know, in 5th century, Roman Empire was on the verge of declining. There was no dominant central power in Europe. People in Europe were scared, was insecure about their life and property. They were tensed. They wanted some powerful king. In 8th century, there came a powerful European king, and this powerful European king was known as Charlemagne. And Charlemagne tried to organize Europe under one rule. But he was such a powerful king that Europe was almost under the rule of Charlemagne. But after his death, his successors were not so powerful. The central power was almost on the verge of declining, and central power became weak again. And this advantage and this opportunity was taken by feudal lords, and they tried to capture the land which was already with Charlemagne. And once they tried to capture this land, there arose a dominance of feudal lords, and this dominance of feudal lords is known as feudalism. Students, once feudalism came into picture, they had many administrative problems. Let us understand the pyramid table of feudalism. Students, king was at the top, then came the nobles, then came the knights and vassals, then came the peasants. Peasants used to supply food and services to knights and vassals, whereas knights and vassals used to provide protection and military service to the nobles, and these nobles used to provide money and knights to the king. In return, king used to provide land to the nobles, and nobles used to provide land but in lease. And these lands were protected by knights and vassals, and as well as in this land, peasants used to work and they used to produce cultivation. They used to produce crops which was used by entire Europe. Let us understand what exactly happened. Students, feudal lords had to face many problems. Like, firstly, they had to protect their subjects. It means that they had to protect their administrators. They need to maintain peace and order. They had to administer justice on behalf of king. Students, they also built huge manor, and this manor is nothing but a well-fortified castle from where they used to sit, and they used to rule the entire premises. They used to rule the entire area which was under their control. They commanded and controlled peasants and laborers. Peasants used to work as a serf. They exploited common man. They made them work day in, day out. But wages given by them to this common man was very low, which means that common people were exploited day by day. They collected big chunk of agriculture produced from the peasants. They not only exploited common man, they also exploited peasants. They captured the land of peasants and made them serfs. Serfs is nothing but farmers who don't have their own land and they work under feudal lords. It means that feudal lords used to treat the serfs as slaves. Students, let us understand how did merchant class arise. Spices from India and Southeast Asia were sold in European market. It means that in European markets, there were great demand for Indian spices. Precious metal, cotton, milk, sugar, tea, fabric, spices, etc. was in great demand in Europe. It means that Europeans used to collect these things from India and Southeast Asia, due to which there arose a new merchant class, due to which European trade increased day by day. and class of merchants and traders increased. Once this trade increased, there was a development of new cities. Two such new cities which was formed in Europe, which was famous for trading, was Venice and Geneva. Thank you, students. God bless you. Bye. Take care.